What's good, YouTube? We back with another episode of the TrakWolf GodCast. I'm your boy TrakBeatz. Today we got my man Cheno Bliss over here co-hosting in the building with us.
Ep.9.
What's good, bro?
Okay.
As y'all can see, we got our lovely guest in here with us today, Miss K.I.A.S.
What up?
We gonna get into her for a second, but first I want to shout out my peoples. You know what I'm saying? The bully. Putting that motherfucking work in. Y'all make sure y'all go out and support the motherfucking brand, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can follow her up on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Websites, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? She got plenty of motherfucking merch. Y'all make sure y'all go holla at her ASAP. On another note, you know what I'm saying? We got Miss K.I.A.S up in the building. I'm gonna let her introduce herself to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Tell her a little bit about herself.
What up, y'all? I'm K.I.A.S. That's K-I-A-S, and it stands for Keep It a Stack. I'm a female rapper. I be out here, you know, doing my thing and whatnot. Look me up. That's my intro.
So, where are you originally from?
I'm from Stanton, so that's like 45 minutes away from Charlottesville, where 64 meets 81, a little small town.
Alright. So what got you into this musical journey thing?
Well, like, I've been doing music basically since I was in high school. And I didn't really tell nobody about it because my high school was very, like, you know, I'm not even gonna lie, my high school was racist. I mean, for starters, my high school was
What
racist.
high school did you go to?
I went to Robert E. Lee. Y'all see that shit on the news?
Oh, I've been there before. Yeah,
The name of it.
Yeah. The principal there was in, like, a Trump costume, and the secretary was in a Hillary and the jail costume. They made national news.
Oh, I did not catch that.
For being racist.
That shit is bad.
Yeah, that shit is
crazy.
That's not even how it all started. Like,
we got the Robert E. Lee statue out here.
Yeah.
I mean, that
shit was just racist.
So, like, okay, so some people may not understand. There are different degrees of racism. What are some type of, like, racist things that you experienced or saw in that environment?
Oh, I got you. It was all systematic. It was straight black kids constantly getting suspended, white kids doing the same thing, never getting in trouble, never getting suspended. At one point there was a brawl in the cafeteria because white kids came in there and wanted to call the black kids the N-word, like ER, and so
there was no fight?
No, there was a fight. There was a brawl. There was a whole fight between basically a bunch of black kids, a bunch of white kids, and only the black kids got suspended.
Yeah, I think the intentions behind that shit would have made me go in. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about the word. We throw that shit around daily. You know what I'm saying? The intention. But the intentions behind it would have definitely set me off too. So your town, is it like, is predominantly Caucasian out there, correct?
Yeah, I would have to say it's definitely predominantly Caucasian.
So what is it like? You can count on one hand how many people look like you went to your school?
Nah, I mean, it's still like a good number of people, but it's just not very diverse. And then, like, all the staff is white. Like, you know, you got a couple, you know, the focus teacher black, the gym teacher black. You know, they had an assistant black principal, you know, until my last year of school, but everybody else white.
So, like, tell the people, like, what's your nationality?
I'm black and white. I'm mixed.
So, like, how did that, like, affect your upbringing as far as, like, having an interracial parents and then people pinpointing you as solely being brown-skinned when you have another parent that's, you know what I'm saying, the same color?
Well, that's the thing. It's, like, really hard to fit in as a mixed kid because it's, like, you're not black enough for the black kids. You're not white enough for the white kids. So you just kind of in your own zone. And it's like, you know, I would hang out with my black friends sometimes and they're like, well, why don't you know about this? Or why don't you know about doing this to your hair? And it's like, well, my hair is just a little bit different. And then, you know, so I can't use certain things. And then I go to my white friends' houses and they're like, well, why don't you do this to your hair or that to your hair? And I'm like, well, my hair is different. You know, and just like constantly, even like I went to a protest recently, like just going home to my hometown. I went to a protest recently and I'm talking about my experience as being seen as a black woman and like experiencing racism because of that. And I feel like I'm a woman of color. Like I don't see myself above or below anybody. Like I feel like I'm a woman of color and I've experienced certain things And, you know, everyone's experiences are differently, but to be on stage talking and people agreeing with me, and then there's like this one black mom in the crowd that's like, and your mom's white, don't forget to tell them that. And I'm like,
oh wow, that's at a demonstration.
Yeah, that was at a demonstration, and people
Okay.
said stuff to her like it wasn't even like that. But it's also like, I understand that, like, I also have a certain level of privilege because my mother's white. You know, because sometimes when my mother walks in the room, you know, people are like, oh, her mom's white? Well, I can deal with this white woman and talk about it. But then it's like, you know, people who are fully black, their black parent comes in the room and they still get the same level of disrespect that their child was getting. So I know I have a certain level of privilege, but I also have a certain level of not privilege that I'm also experiencing, you know?
Yeah.
What is that? I always wanted a perspective on what is that space like of not being a part of both sides, but not being accepted by either.
It's like really difficult. Like I had a hard time with it growing up, especially because I just felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. Mm-hmm. And I felt like the other mixed girls were like trying too hard to fit in both categories, and I wanted somebody to just accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
You know, like you have people who, you know, claim the quote unquote acting white or acting black, and it's like certain white kids would accept certain mixed girls because they would act white all the time, you know, so to speak, and then you would have certain black girls accepting certain mixed girls because they would act black, and it's like I did a little bit of both. You know, I was that ghetto girl who was also in all honors classes, and so it was like I didn't really fit in with nobody. You know, it was difficult, but also I was like, I'm the shit. Y'all
so
just
do
don't
you?
see it.
Exactly.
So with that being said, do you feel like like being white and black? Do you feel like those titles is more of a status opposed from like actually being like who we are?
I feel like it's a lot of both, like because it is a status, but it also is like who we are. You know, like I don't want somebody to look at me and say, oh, I don't see color. No, I want you to see my color, and I want you to respect it.
Yeah, I hate when people say that. Like, don't say that, because we not colorblind, and I'm pretty sure you're not colorblind because you picked your outfit out and you matched.
That's facts, and you match.
You feel me?
You look fine. So.
Yeah.
No, and also I didn't start off in public school. I started off in a private school. And there was me, my sister, and there was another family with 2 black siblings. And so there was 4 black kids in my elementary school. And we were I was constantly in trouble for stupid stuff. Like I look back and I'm like, it's clearly because I was black, because I didn't do anything wrong.
So like, you wanted, it feels like you describing like you want to be yourself, but you have to follow the system structure. So is that how you did so good in, you know what I'm saying, like high school to get you to where you at now? Yeah,
I mean, to an extent, but I feel like I've always been okay with being like a loner to some extent, because I'm okay with not following the system structure, and I'm okay with not fitting into like certain categories. Like I was okay, like, yeah, I was like, damn, like, I don't really fuck with nobody. But then I was also like, I don't want to be anything. I don't want to start acting more this way just so that this group of people will like me. Because then I would try it out and I'd do it for a couple weeks and I'd have all these friends and then I'd be like, I'm like not happy. Like I'm not having fun doing the stuff that y'all are doing.
And y'all don't really like me.
Right.
Y'all like the way I act.
Y'all just like what y'all just like what I'm presenting to you.
So does when you say those comments, is that going for like the black friends that you hang out with or the white friends that you hang out with?
It was both. 100% both. It would be me, like, you know, in the honors classes trying to be like, oh yeah, I go home and do my schoolwork on time and get everything done and I don't participate in anything bad, to me like going off and smoking weed and like me like only showing one part of me to one group of friends and then the other part of me to another group of friends, where I just wanted to be myself all the time. But then it was like I'd be around my black friends and I'd do something considered white, like I'd like, let's go fishing, and they'd be like, that's your white side coming out, and I'm like, can I like just like to do nice things?
What's crazy is we look at fishing as a white thing when that's a way of life. That's how you live, you know what I'm saying? That's how you survive.
Yeah.
And when you know how to fish, if the system was to shut down, you have one form of way of knowing how to eat. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know how to fish.
No, but I'm saying that.
I don't even like touching the things. I never catch anything.
The concept of it though is fishing how we was all brought up that way, you know what I'm saying, where it was kind of considered that to be like a white thing, like fishing and outdoorsy kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying, being in nature.
But then it's like my white friends thought dancing was a black thing, so I used to love to dance when I was younger, and I'd like start to dance around my white friends, start to get a little rhythm, and they'd be like,
they get mad
stop
at you.
acting ghetto, like, and I'm like.
So what made you choose the school that you go to? Did you feel like that school was a neutral school? Because getting into that school, you had a very large range of schools you could have got into. Like you could have almost got into damn near any school.
I did. I got into like 4 other schools, and I chose UVA. And
but you probably could have applied for more because this is a pretty big ass school right here.
Yeah.
I mean, UVA is a nice school. I feel like I mostly chose it for its academics and for like, I guess, you know, the success that I saw myself having as having a degree from UVA. Yeah. But I really didn't want to go to UVA. Like, I really didn't want to go to UVA. I applied to UVA as basically to be rude to somebody. Like, basically, they thought they was smart. They applied. They didn't get in. I applied. I got in. So that was like the thing.
I'm just going to go since
and
I got in.
I got in, and I was like, dang. And I like, you know, I was going to go to ODU. That's where I really wanted to go. There was like black people there. I felt like I could join the step team.
It's
I could join the sorority.
Crowd at ODU.
Yeah, I felt like I could go and I could have like a great time. And I probably could have. My best friend from my freshman year of college at Shenandoah transferred to ODU. And I was going to transfer with her. We were talking about being roommates, like all this stuff. And then I got accepted into UVA, and it was like my deposit to ODU was gone. Like my family, it was like, you have to go to UVA. Like, I'm the first one in my family to go to college. So it's like, or to graduate college. My sister did a year, and then my mom did a year. But like, I'm the first one to finish college, so they're all like, you have to go, you have to get this like great degree, and like, you know, so I feel like I had a lot to live up to, and so that's why I ultimately landed on UVA. Even though it's got its issues, like I don't feel like it's diverse.
What do you feel like is like some of the hardest issues with you, like being on campus and like being biracial? And I know it's a pretty predominantly white, Asian based campus. Right.
So I feel like I felt so much more accepted by the black community at UVA than I did ever anywhere else in my life. Because the black community at UVA, I feel like faces so much discrimination, you know, so much, just like, so much controversy, like, and so many issues that arise, and like, together, like, we all face systematic racism. And, you know, people always say, oh, they just accepted those black students because they were trying to meet a diversity protocol, but that's not even it. Like, the black students at UVA earned their spot there, and they, you know, they recognize systematic racism, and they recognize that, like, that light skin, dark skin mixed stuff is not, all it does is divide us. And so nobody there ever made me feel like I was different because I was mixed. My roommate's just as light as me. Like, she looks, her skin tone, she might even be lighter than me. And both her parents are black. So people know that, like, black comes in all different shades. And even though I'm not fully black, if a police officer has a gun faced to my chest because I'm black, I don't have the privilege of saying, oh, my mom's white, don't shoot me. You know? Like, I'm still gonna go through the same shit as if they thought as if I was a fully black woman standing right there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That is a pretty deep experience to go through, considering like the town that you came from and the school which was named Robert E. Lee, to decide to go to the next one, which would be Thomas Jefferson, with all the slave quarters and dorms.
But I feel like there's a resistance on grounds against that. It's really like administration holding on to that stuff. And I feel like, yeah, they tried to give back a little bit by recognizing, you know, the slavery that happened on grounds with like the little African,
they did.
You know,
so
they have like that memorial.
So if they was recognizing it, I feel like they should have gave the black students out there those dorms instead of making those honors dorms.
Yeah, I felt that way.
So,
it's not even just that.
dorms,
So much other shit on grounds that like should be changed. Just the fact that like we use different language to try to label ourselves. They're like when we come into UVA, we're supposed to call it grounds, not campus. Like there's so many different things that we're supposed to like say differently. I don't even know half the stuff because it's like we have this prestigious language like people who don't go to UVA wouldn't understand. It's like,
so do you think they kind of
It's very oppressive and suppressive.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And when the fact, like, when stuff happens on the grounds, like, you know, we had a student who was targeted for, you know, telling white students, like, this is the multicultural student center. And, like, there's a lot of y'all in here. Now, multicultural students, and by multicultural student center was really a black space meant for black students. And you had white students coming in there. They were being loud. They were setting down, like, the plaques and the information about, like, you know, black people that had been like Martin Luther King and all these people that's on these tables are setting the plaques down on the ground to make room for their books, and they're disrespecting the space. And she stands up and she says, you know, y'all, we're not saying y'all aren't welcome here, but just keep in mind that this is a black space that you're in right now. And, you know, there's just a lot of y'all in here. There's not even room for the black people at this point. And the president doesn't get up and say nothing about it. He doesn't condemn the fact that she's getting death threats, that this shit's gone viral. You know, like he's, you know, just says, he made a statement that was like, it's a space for everybody. And it's like, you need to back her up because this space was made for black people. You know, OAAA was made for black people. White kids still go in there to get free printing. And it's like, we're not saying you can't come into space, but it's like, you know, that's like if you threw a party you threw a party in Virginia for people from New York and be like, yo, come rep New York, and then none of the New Yorkers could get in because everybody from Charlottesville and that shit. And you like, I just really wanted to bond with like my people who are also out here from New York, and now all y'all people from Charlottesville out here. It'd be like, it's not that y'all
and I
not
think
welcome,
that, and I think that's where we all have a hard time with like setting boundaries. Because spiritually we want to set harder boundaries, but we know systematically we got Big Brother in place. You know what I'm saying?
And also, it's wise to be aware of the words that people use. Because when I hear multicultural, I know what it implies. It implies what she said, a black space, but it also implies that all cultures are welcome.
Yeah.
So if something like this happens, they have a liability. Like, it's cool. Like we said, multicultural, everyone's included. You can't just have a black space. That's illegal. You can't just have a white space. That's illegal. Like, words are important, and the words people use show their intent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
they're just trying to save their face value, obviously.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that irritates me, but how do you deal with stuff like that? Like, how do you manage the emotions it puts you through, the thoughts it makes you have? Like, when you experience that, I have a space that's designated for me, but it's not really my space. You know what I mean?
Right.
I have things that are supposed to be designated for me, but they aren't. Like, I get treated differently on this place that I chose to come. Like, how do you manage that? Because you also have to deal with schoolwork. You also have to deal with social things. You have family. You know what I mean?
I mean, me personally, like, I go home. Like, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to, like, show them that I appreciate this campus when I'm not comfortable on this campus. I'm going to go home, and you're not going to see my presence here, and you're not going to say, this was one of the students who was studying on campus and was feeling happy and, you know, safe and comfortable, because there's tons of white spaces on campus. Tons of spaces that only white kids study, and it's like black kids don't feel comfortable going there.
Yes.
And then it's like, you know, you have one black space, and it's like, we can't even have that. You know, y'all gotta have that space too. And it's like, nobody used to go to it when it was in a more inconvenient place. But then they moved the Multicultural Student Center to a more convenient place. Now the white kids want to come into it. But y'all didn't want nothing to do with the Multicultural Student Center when it was somewhere else.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, you just want the space for its benefits, you know, but you don't want the space because you actually need the space. So think about people who need the space. You know, that's what bothers me. And so I don't even want to be around that. I don't even want to experience that. And it just makes me want to fight.
Yeah, see,
like, and not physical fight. It makes me want to
to
fight the system.
Yeah.
Protest, like, it makes me want to speak up. It makes me want to tell them what trash they are. Coming from a UVA about to be grad, it makes me want to tell you what trash you are for that, for not speaking out against that. As a university who wants to support all their students, y'all should have spoke up about that. It shouldn't have been the black students coming to the aid of this student who was being targeted. It should have been UVA as a community coming together and saying, you're not going to come for our student like that, and this is her space. Yes, y'all are welcome, but this is their space. Keep that in mind. Like, I felt like the university should have been more direct and said that.
That's one of them places where they're going to do a lot of dancing. Like, here is where this is like a university location, you know what I'm saying? So everything in this town / city is like basically bought out or paid for by UVA, you know what I'm saying? Mostly the ones that be investing back be the white ones that graduate, you know what I'm saying? That's off doing some shit and got a big bag and they want to stay on, you know, what is that? The reunion, the alumni and reunions and all of that shit, you know what I'm saying?
And it's partly about pleasing them, which sucks because it's like, you know, they need the money to keep, you know, persisting as this, you know, prestigious university. Yeah. But
yeah,
it's
but
also
they using that money to hide them fraternities fucking raping them girls out there.
Yeah, I've heard about stuff like that.
Them frats be doing a lot of that shit.
I don't even go to no frat parties.
Yeah, them shits is pretty reckless. So, and most of them dudes that's doing that shit, you gotta think about it. Like, they coming from here at a young age, but then they get older once they get out of here, and now they just got this bag. You think these habits just disappear? Especially when they got the bag to do what the fuck they want to do? Come on now. So, it's like, when I be hearing shit like this, I still be so curious as into why choose that kind of location to go like be uncomfortable for such a long period of time to get a piece of paper that you're still gonna have to face the same issues that you faced before.
Right. I feel like for me it was like one part of it is like I didn't even realize the type of racism it was. Mm-hmm. You know, like when I was in Stanton, all I heard about was the KKK rally, and I was like, oh, that was like Charlottesville City, that wasn't like UVA, and I just knew UVA was predominantly white. And then it's like I get here and I'm like, wow, this shit is like really, it's like me, like, you know, the ignorant side of me, the side of me that's like, you know, let me look at all these positive messages UVA is sending me right now. You know, they send you all those pictures of all the diverse school and everything, and you don't realize that when you get into your classrooms, it's all white people. You could be the only black person in that class, and it's not something that like is necessarily advertised to you. It's not like UVA is gonna be like, oh, by the way, our school's racist. Do you still want to go here? Yeah. And it's like on my part, I felt like I should have done more research, but also in my own self-defense, I was 20 years old, and there's like a huge difference between a 20-year-old and a 23-year-old. I feel like once you turn 18, every year until you're like 27 is like a huge jump. And then, so me at 20 and me at 23 probably wouldn't have chosen the school, regardless of how prestigious it was. Me at 20 was like, I just got into the #1 school in Virginia and I'm going.
So, you probably could have got into Howard too, though.
Actually, probably.
Yeah, you got into
I had a 3.9 GPA when I applied to UVA.
Yeah, you definitely would have been able to get into Howard, and
I had a lot of volunteer work, and I was already in 2 honor societies. I could have applied and gone somewhere else probably, and I think my mind was so set on ODU, and then I only applied to UVA for that whole like trying to show somebody I was smarter than them. That's this little white kid who was like.
Yeah. Competition.
And acting like he was smarter than me because the Lord knows what. And I was like, bet, I'm going to apply into your dream school too. I got in. And I was like, bet, I'm going to go.
Into music heavy because I thought I was better than someone at something. Mm-hmm. And it developed into something better for me. But if you would have never went to UVA, we would have never met likely. So
that's facts. Y'all would have never met me.
All of it.
Yeah.
All the great people that I've met out here, there's been so many negatives, but you know what? I feel like there's been so many more positives. I've met so many people out here that I would call lifelong friends, that I would say, like, I would hit up on, you know, month-to-month, year-to-year basis. Like, you know, if we fell off, I could see you 5 years from now and I'd still be like, hey, yo, Trak, hey, yo, Cheno, what's up? Like, you feel me?
Exactly.
Be like, yeah, I got a kid now. You feel me? Like,
exactly.
Still got some crazy music coming together too, like the whole process.
So like, how did, when you got to UVA, how did that affect your music journey?
I feel like it was actually right before I got to UVA that I was like, I'm finally gonna drop a track, because I was so pissed at these people, and I was like,
who are these people?
These people from my hometown. One of them, I'm gonna name names. One of them was Jay Bugs or whatever, and then another one was Tyree Crawford, and then you had this girl Michaela, I don't even know her last name, and a couple other people who really was just being fake, talking about me, and it was like, I can't stand that, because it's like, if you have anything to say to me, like, say it to me, or it's not worth saying. And then I hate when I like try to confront people and they won't say nothing, or they don't have nothing to say then, and I just can't stand that. Yeah. You know, it's like me and you sitting right here, and then I walk out the room and you start saying, yeah, I hate her, by the way, I hate her attitude, and it's like, why don't you just tell me if you hate my attitude, if you hate this and that about me, just tell me. Yeah. And so I dropped a diss track.
On everybody at one time.
Yeah. Letting it be known, this is how.
And I named names, you know, I put the names in there and everything, and the shit hit. And I didn't even know, because I'd been writing music all through high school, but I didn't tell nobody. I didn't know if I was talented. So
this
was
was just
whatever.
a rap song?
Yeah, it was just a little diss track called High C.
What year was it? Like, how old were you?
It was 2018. I was 20.
You was 20?
Yeah, I was 20. This is my very age.
So you started at about
But I've
20.
never taken it off SoundCloud, because I always look back and I'm like, that's my first track. I'm never taking that off of SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's a memory. That's
Keep it up there.
Yeah, I don't care if people be like, I don't care if somebody tries to sue me in the future. Okay, I paid a lawsuit. It's still staying up on that site though. But tell you that much.
So, how has your musical journey been affected, and like, have you met any like interesting people like on campus doing music?
Yeah, so like my first semester at UVA, I was still like trying to figure out how I was gonna start recording music and everything, and so I took a composing mixtape to my spring semester, where I met like, you know, singers, rappers, you know, and then I met AD Carson, and he's, you know, the rap professor at UVA, and he's so dope. As Cheno was just saying, he's definitely a sensei. Like, I love AD. And so I met him, and he's like basically like been my mentor. Like, everything he's told me, I've like changed some of the, like, not even because he's told me, oh, you need to change this, because that's not even it, but you just have conversation with him and you realize, you know what, I could do better, or you know what, like, I could have a better message, or I could, you know, be a better artist in these ways, just based off of what he's teaching you, what he's telling you. So I gained so many like connections on that front, and then got so much experience with like the music game, you know, just being connected with those people, like realizing how people work, starting to build my standards for professionalism, starting to like, you know, see the way I wanted to work, the way I wanted to run my music business. And, you know, I realized, oh, these are the type of people I'd work with, these are the type of people I wouldn't work with. Like, and I was like, that spring semester was, you know, that was like my learning curve right there.
So, when you say like a sensei, like, explain like the professor's position out there on campus.
Like, I don't know if it's necessarily even like, I'm trying to think of like what he would consider himself, because I don't even think that he would even consider himself in a position so to speak. Like, he's definitely a professor, and he knows, like, you know, he got his PhD, like, he's, you know, I think it's like the students see him as so much more, and it's like he don't see himself as like above anybody, you know, like he's not, oh, I'm better than you. It's not even like that. But it's like when you have a group of people that view you so highly, you know, it's like he's definitely somebody that a lot of people look up to, a lot of people respect. You know, he respects himself, which makes us respect him even more. And like, he knows his worth, like, as a person, as a professor, as a member of that community. There's so many things that, like, there's so many like things that I would have never learned, and so many other people would have never learned had they never had him as a professor. And there's not a lot of people that could do what he does. I feel like to me, he's one of the most valuable people on grounds, because not everybody can teach a composing mixtapes class. Like, when do you hear people saying, oh, I went to college and I, wasn't a mixtape? Because they don't have that shit anywhere else. He's one of the only people that, like, it's not necessarily his position on grounds, but his position in, like, the learning community in general.
Yes, because he's the only person that I've met that's ever been referred to as a professor of hip-hop.
Exactly.
That's how I met him. That's the title that I know him as.
Like, imagine being somebody that not only are you so intelligent, you're so lyrical, you're so hip to, like, what's going on in the world, you're so hip to your own music game, the industry you're in, and you're in multiple industries. He's in an education and a music industry. What two industries I feel like nobody else is, like, colliding over the paths, even though, if we think about it, music influences our education at all times.
Yeah,
but now he's teaching people that, because not everybody thinks about that subconsciously, like, dang, music is constantly influencing me. Nobody thinks that. But then you have somebody like AD who steps out and starts educating people in music, and then you're like, dang.
Yeah, that's real shit. We just had a episode with K.I.A.S, and we was actually discussing that, like, the party music and the turn-up music, you know what I'm saying, and the way of lifestyle, how music was versus how it started, you know what I'm saying, and, like, the direction it turned, and, like, how it became weaponized now. And, like, even though we make party and turn-up music, once you start gaining traction, you got to be more mindful, because you're influencing a lot more people, you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of like the Cardi B and the Megan Thee Stallion joint, you know what I'm saying? Like, they influencing millions of people, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's a lot of people watching this shit and being like, oh, I ain't that motherfucking person, I ain't doing that shit, or, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people who is, and they're still following that direction, you know what I'm saying? So. And
I feel like, especially when we talk about, like, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, like, I support women in doing what they want to do, and, portraying whatever image that they feel like they want to portray. But also, like, I can't say that I would do what they're doing, because I wouldn't. And I don't want to talk down on any woman who's doing anything like that, because at the end of the day, that's them, and that's their life and their choice. And I feel like I grew out of calling women hoes a long time ago, like before I was even 20, and that was my immature stage, because I feel like it's just not even a thing. Like, men do shit like that all the time. But also it's to the simple degree that I also feel like they have so much more to offer. And so it's almost like when they release songs like that, I'm just disappointed as a fan, because, I listen to Cardi B's old music and I'm like, dang, she was rapping about some real shit. Like, I really fucked with old Cardi and then new Cardi, and it's like every song is about sex. Every song is about, this image, and it's like, is influencing the youth. And I'm like, dang, like, I don't even really fuck with Cardi like that no more. And I used to be one of her biggest fans. Like, when she first came out, and it was like, all the music, like Bodak Yellow, Get Up 10, like, Through Your Phone, like, all her old stuff, when she was even rapping about being in the trap and stuff, I wasn't even like, oh, she's negatively influencing the youth. I was like, she's just rapping about her life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, there's youth out here going through what she's going through. So maybe she, maybe that's not so much influencing, but relating to the youth. But now you have, like, it's all about sex. And I feel like that is influencing rather than relating to. And so now you see, like, she says constantly, my music isn't for kids. But also, like, we live in a world where all music is for kids. Whatever you put out there, a kid is going to hear. So it's also like,
why be in that position and not be ready to handle, what comes with being in that position? But at the same time, I understand, like, once you sign them contracts, you don't have control of your image no more. A lot of these people is forced to do this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So.
But I also feel like when you get so big, like, you Cardi B. Like, right now, you the biggest female rapper out there. And that's just a fact. Even, like, Nicki is big, and,
No, Cardi got it right now.
Cardi definitely got it right now.
She got it right now.
But even though Meg Thee Stallion's big, Nicki's big, like, those are people that you're going to recognize their faces, you're going to recognize their names. Cardi's up there. I don't feel like she need nobody to tell her what to do. You know, if I was with
But
Cardi
she
right
got-
now, I'd break any contract I had and just go solo because people are still gonna listen to my music.
Yeah, but the thing is with that, like, people's lives be all the lie, other people's lives be all the lie, so...
Well, and to put it in another way, when you sign a contract, you're signing a logical contract. We ain't signing what we feel like. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
And then when we take it to court, our words, there's a law dictionary and then there's a Webster dictionary. There's other dictionaries, so the words in court that you would use here actually mean something different as well.
Yeah.
So like we playing so many different games on so many different levels that, and you know, there are ways to get out of it and not to be sexist, not to have any bias. I have seen more so women say, I signed this under distress or duress, and they can get out of that. I've never seen a man be able to get that off.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've seen Meg go online and be like, shoot, I signed this, I was stressed and duress. Like, and everybody was like, yeah, she was stressed, let her out, she was stressed. Everybody who felt that way.
Right.
But logically, if I gave you $1 million and you blew up and I need to make my 25, 30% off of that, I don't care what you feel. I need my money back.
Right.
I gave you $1 million. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like, you know, I feel it, and I also feel a track coming from, like you said, that's where that signing that contract come in, and then it's just like, now you in debt X amount of money, like, so that's why, like, I have such a sympathy for a lot of these people, because they're ignorant when they go in there, they're young, and these people get them in, then you're a cash cow, but these people have way more money than they do.
But the thing is now, like, we in 2021 and 2021, I don't think we're in a position, even with the technology we have now, to continue to use that as an excuse anymore either.
What specifically?
Is that they going into these contracts young. Like, most of y'all motherfuckers going in these contracts was already on YouTube when you was 5 or 6, so it's no reason why you not reading up or trying to learn some shit, you know what I'm saying, like, before going into it.
Yeah, and I also feel like, you know, it's not just women, it's men. Like, everybody's kind of rapping about the same thing, and I think it's the industry in general that's like, oh, sex sells, or, you know, jewels sell, money sells, shoes sell, so let's talk about those things. The trap sells. Like, look at 6ix9ine. I mean, he really ain't no trap nigga, like, and it's like that's what he rapped about because that's what it sold. And he still, like, to some degree, be talking about that shit. And it's like, that's what sold money. So it's like, that's what I'm going to rap about, even if it's not the life they live. So it's like, nobody knows Cardi personally.
I feel like that only qualifies if you live in that lifestyle. Like, if you not living that lifestyle, you should not be rapping about that shit. But if you live in that lifestyle, you got every reason to rap about that shit. And not like it fucking matters, but I feel like you got every right to rap about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you living your experience, you rapping your experience. You know what I'm saying? But
if it sound good, we accept it even if they don't live it.
And that's what sucks. That's what sucks from my perspective, because I look at like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, and I feel like I've never heard a song of Meg Thee Stallion's that's like not about sex, or where she's not talking about sex in some type of way. And maybe that's because I don't be looking at her mixtapes and her albums and stuff that deep. And I think I've got turned off from it because I've heard her mainstream music and I'm like, all I hear is you talking about sex. Yeah, it might be different bars, different stuff might rhyme, it might be different flow, but it's all about sex, and I get bored. And now I don't want to look at your albums because I'm like, do you have anything else to offer?
Okay, so I have a question for you as a person and an artist. So based on what we've learned about you, being biracial, you know, growing up in these environments, how do you stay genuine to yourself and stay on the path that you feel was chosen for you, or maybe the right path, the moral path?
The thing is, like, I have certain morals, and then it's like, there are certain things that it's not even like a moral for me. It's more like a I got bored type of thing. Like the whole listen to Meg Thee Stallion and stuff, talk about sex. I wouldn't care if it was just a couple songs, because it's every song. But me, like, I wouldn't mind making a song where I'm like, you know, talking about certain things. I personally am not going to talk about my deep sex life because that's my business between me and my significant other. But there's certain things that I'll talk about that I won't normally talk about that might bang. And I'll be like, you know, this is my lifestyle, or like this, or this is something I've experienced, so I'll talk about it, and y'all gonna be like, she's not in the trap, and it's like, you know, I've been in the trap. you know, several times. And like, there are people in Virginia that like think they know the ghetto and like they don't know the ghetto at all. And so it's like, you know, like there's certain things that I can rap about that I can make a strong song to that people might be like, dang, that doesn't seem like her message. And it's like, it's not like I have a specific message. It's like I have multiple messages that come from multiple different places, that come from multiple different experiences. And so when I look at other artists, that's what I want to see. I want to see like your ability to be like a chameleon. Like, you know, you can talk about different things. You know, sex or money is not your only topic. And if it is, I'm going to get bored with you. And I'm not going to listen to you long. And if you think about it, all these artists that come up real quick, then they die down real quick. They're up for a year, 2 years, maybe 3. And then they're off. Think about artists like J. Cole, Kendrick. Like, they came up, and it's like they're still up there. They still up there fighting with the young bulls. And it's because they always switch their stuff. They're rapping about all different types of stuff.
Exactly.
You know, J. Cole's so diverse. And I'm not even, like, a huge J. Cole fan. Like, I love J. Cole. I've got his albums, like, on my iTunes and everything. But it's also, like, I listen to other people, and I'm not like, oh, J. Cole, you know. But it's like, I can look at him, and I'm like, I don't get tired of his music. All his songs are different. I get tired of Cardi B.
I feel like the way it's set up now, it's like we have the option to listen to whatever we want to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we got choices. We always had choices, but now it's like more convenient for us. You know, when it wasn't convenient for you to go get a nigga mixtape or something.
Or even like just find people's stuff, so you had to rely on the radio.
Now it's more convenient. You got all different kind of websites, from SoundCloud to SoundClick to fucking YouTube, fucking Instagram, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no reason why people should feel forced to listen to that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the same way we could disagree with some of the things that they rap about, if enough people tune them out, they wouldn't get no sales, and then that would shut that down, and they would be forced to promote what people is listening to. You know what I'm saying? If they want to generate any money, and that's what the system is all about, generating money.
Yeah, I think it's also about like what people hear around them though. Like, there are a lot of people who still listen to the radio. You know, you go to clubs and stuff, and what the DJs do is they play the most popular songs. So, you know, if Cardi B drops a song, even if they don't like the song, they're going to play the Cardi B song because everybody in there want to hear the Cardi B song. So it's like, then you go to the club, maybe you don't even listen to Cardi B. You go in there and then you hear the Cardi B song, and then it's like,
you go to your friend's house. You
know, you hear the song again. Like me, like, I saw WAP came out, I didn't watch WAP. I didn't listen to WAP. I didn't do any of that. And then I heard it everywhere I went. And everybody was listening. And so I finally went, I watched the video, I said, and I thought that shit was nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was a porn video.
WAP didn't really hit my radar.
I didn't see it.
It was that motherfucking Drake song that came out that hit my radar. The one right before he did the last one with Dirk.
What, Tootsie Slide?
What's that?
That came out during the pandemic.
Nah, it might have been one before that.
Right foot up, left foot slide.
Yeah.
Nah, what was the one before that?
I don't remember. I think he was chilling for a minute.
Nah, he had another joint he dropped, but I on everything I love.
I feel like Me in the Grave is too old. So
I disliked the nigga video, so it would stop popping up on my YouTube playlist. And the shit still kept popping up. So I'm like, these niggas done figured out a way to steal views.
Force feed you.
Because now it keeps popping up in my algorithms, and I can't keep disliking it. I don't know how else to remove it. Like, it's a big artist, so you can't. I don't know how to fucking block the video.
I guess you have to block Drake.
It's not in my playlist no more.
What?
But I kept.
It's like, what you
I would be in my
Even an
playlist.
option.
His shit would just pull up in my playlist. I'm
He's
like,
everywhere. What are you talking about?
Why the fuck is he still pulling up here?
You walk in the closet, there go Drake. What you doing in my closet?
I don't know, man. I'm tripping. I thought this was my house.
Forcing
that nigga on me. Like, that's cool if everybody else want to listen to him. But
I feel like that's really what it is you have people who get signed by these major companies, and they just, the music is forced on you. Like, you're not even, like me, I gotta stay to myself so that I don't.
So how do you feel like being an independent artist versus being signed? Would you rather stay the independent route, or would you rather go sign a contract?
I feel like it really depends on the label. Like, I like Dreamville. I love Dreamville. I would sign to Dreamville. But I can't name any other label
Why
off the
would
top
you?
of my
Why
head.
would you sign to Dreamville?
I feel like their message, like, just in general, like, I feel like, one, I feel like their artists are more lyrical. Two, I just feel like, and I need to do more research on the label in general and see how do they do their artists, like, business-wise. But, like, as far as the type of music that the label releases, like, I'm down with it, you know?
The only other female artist I know associated with that is Dreezy.
Yeah. Oh, and
you and her would make a cool track.
Yo, when Dreezy came out with the Chirac track, I bumped that shit everywhere I went. And I thought she went the hardest on everybody that went on the Chirac track.
Dreezy go.
Dreezy went in on the Chirac track.
Yeah, she can
I gotta
really
check
rap.
her shit out.
Dreezy can rap.
Yeah, Dreezy. I first got put onto her with the Chirac track, and I was like, what? And I couldn't even. Oh my god.
So like, what type of content do you prefer to make for yourself personally in your music?
Man, like, I feel like recently with a lot of the new stuff I've been working on, it's really like, it's real personal to me. Like, it's real, like, for me, like, when I first started releasing music, it was like I was releasing it, but everybody was at arm's length. And now it's like I'm shortening my distance, like letting people in more. So now I'm like releasing more stuff that's close to me, releasing stuff on issues that I felt like I wanted to speak up on, my personal life, like my personal experiences. Like I released a song called Self Love, and like I was crying while I was recording that track. And I was really just talking about, basically we were talking about earlier, like how I felt like I wasn't pretty as a kid, like, and I was cute, man. I look at my old pictures and I'm like, dang, like, I was really cute.
So was this a singing song or a rapping song? Because
I was singing.
We talked about the rapping, but we didn't actually get into the vocals as a singer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
we've been discussing the
talented.
rapping because she loves the rapping.
I do love to rap.
I'm a fan of the vocals, the singing, which she's been avoiding.
I haven't been avoiding it. I've sang all my life, so like, and I actually used to be a better singer. That's why I like really cut back on smoking, because my voice has gotten better since I stopped smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Before I started smoking weed, like my voice was on point. Like I was in a couple singing competitions called the Voiceoff in Stanton, and
I remember that.
Yeah, I was in the finals both times, and you know, it was like one of those things where like I would get on stage and I would get off the stage. There was one time I did Freedom, that's Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar, and I did like the rap verse and I did everything. When I got off the stage, it's a small bar. I didn't get back to my table for like literally 30 minutes. People were coming up to me. They were like, oh, I love your voice. That performance was dope. Like, and it's like not even that many people in there. And it's like all these people in
Do
my
you
face.
ever perform original songs at these kind of places?
Yeah, so when I like did the Voiceoff competition, both times when I like tried out, so they have their chairs turned the opposite way, they listen to you sing, then they turn around. Both times that I tried out, I did original songs. And so I was just, and they didn't even know them. And one of the songs I did a cappella, because I was like, I don't have the beat, they don't have the beat, I'm gonna just sing a cappella.
That's
And I
just
was
good.
like,
It take a lot of strength to do that. Go a cappella though. You know?
And advance in a competition, acapella, yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I love to sing. Like, I always sing all the time. So it's become like second nature to me. And like rapping is something that like,
So
I feel like has
singing
become
since you was little,
like in the church,
so that's why you
like
discuss the rap more.
yeah, like solos in the church, and I discuss the rap more because I feel like I feel like my singing speaks for itself. I feel like I'm still proving something. I don't even know why. I feel like I am.
Rap? You mean,
yeah, I feel like
I
I'm
agree.
still.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm still proving something, you know. But with singing, people just hear it and they're like, "Oh yeah, she can sing."
Oh yeah. Immediately, I was like, "Can you sing this hook and this bridge for me?" On 2 songs actually.
Yeah.
And they're the only songs that reach. I don't even know if I tell you, reached 1 million on SoundCloud, and I
saw.
Yeah,
no.
both of them. No, one.
Both of them hit a million.
One hit 1 million, one hit like. Yeah.
I saw when I was like,
Hey,
I was on the track.
we show love. We
Yeah.
support each other over here. That's what I be telling people. That's what I tell.
Yeah.
You wrote it
my
though.
Followers.
Anybody could have sang the hook.
No, because you wrote half of both hooks. We both had ideas, but I was just open because I'm the type.
I did
of
write a little bit.
Both on both.
Man, I've
You
been
wrote
telling
your own
people you wrote the whole.
verses.
I told people you wrote the whole song.
Yeah.
I was like, I just
Yeah.
came in and just because.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was in the studio.
Outstanding artist.
I was in the
man.
studio.
Yo, we had to make more songs.
Yeah, I was in the studio.
Because those were
Yes.
good.
I was the
songs.
middleman in the middle
Doing my
once
best.
again in
Yeah,
the
I
fucking
met
project.
K.I.A.S. through-
You started to reminisce and you're like, wait, why didn't we just 2 more songs.
In the middle,
whole little EP.
I was like, yo, I gotta get some work together.
Yeah,
and we was hitting the studio like crazy around that time. It was like every
putting out
other
a
week,
song a
basically.
week. Yeah, song a week.
We was recording 3 songs in the studio. Like,
and now that I have the
people be
in-home
going
studio,
to the studio procrastinating, but this man can go into the studio and bust 3 songs out in an hour session.
I gotta say, when I got in the studio,
in an hour and a half on a rush. But
when I got in the studio with you, it was like sometimes when I get in the studio, I want to goof off a little bit. It's like he got this vibe, this energy that when you get in the studio, you know you're not goofing off.
I bring people waters and everything. I'm like, you good? You thirsty? We good?
We gonna be here
you
for a
gonna
while?
write this? You like this beat? Let's go to the next beat. Okay.
Yeah, you like we're doing this. Yeah. we was working.
Yeah, that shit was nice.
So like, what's your favorite song that you ever made, and like, why is it your favorite song?
It's a song I haven't dropped yet. I was just telling him about it earlier.
We was going through this.
Yeah, I said I wanted to freestyle it for y'all, but yeah, it's a song I haven't even dropped yet, and it's my favorite song because I feel like I was being so direct, and I feel like I'm the most lyrical I've been to this date on that song. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I go back through it, I keep thinking to myself, damn, are they gonna get this? Because I'm writing stuff that like. I'm like, damn, people gonna have to listen to this a couple times to see what I'm talking about.
I run into that issue a lot. I run into that issue, and I would be so conflicted over years, and then I talked to my boy Doe Man, and I was like, yo, Doe Man, why I feel like people don't really catch my shit? Because I be having like sometimes like quadruple entendres that I didn't even catch, and I'm like, oh my god, did I say that? That was me? Boy, I be getting goosebumps. I'll be like, boy, you a bad boy. He'd be like, man, that shit. He'd be like, it go over people's head. He'd be like, they might get it later. But he was just like, it's just too much to digest while you listening to it. You know what I mean? You gotta hear it over and over.
And sometimes
over and over.
I love that when you write something and then you go back and somebody else listens to it, or you listen to it and you're like, dang, I just did something else I didn't even notice I did right
Is
there.
That me? You be like, oh my god, I'm a G. You be feeling it encourages yourself, like
yeah. I did some. I can't even remember what the bar was, but I like did this thing. I thought I was doing it so cool, and I was like, dang, that's nice. And then people heard it and they was like, oh, and they was like, do you know that you did this? And because of the sevens and this, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, dang, that shit go harder than I thought it would.
I love that feeling. Yeah,
that's the part of creating. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's the part of creating.
Creating something from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Once you go in that inner space and you start creating, and you on a good frequency, you don't never know what you're going to come up with. But you know.
Such facts. That's such facts.
Because I be in the lab cooking up, so my experience be a little bit different than the vocals. But
I get a lot of my beats from this man, off the love.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, we putting a lot of work outside of this.
The beats are dope. The beats are dope.
We're putting a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, we're going to cut to this break, and then we're going to get back to y'all. So we back from the break. Alright, so what we about to get into now is we about to discuss her spiritual growth. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how it transitioned her music into like where it's at now, and how it helped her path, like going from high school to this university and having to maintain some kind of strength through it all.
So I have like a difficult spiritual journey, because at one point I didn't even, like, I kind of like just rejected all spirituality because I was like going through such a hard time, and I'd been through so much stuff, and I was like, nobody's there, like, and I just wasn't spiritual at all. I wasn't worried about growing as a person, growing spiritually, and that was before I came to UVA. Like, it was after my first year of college, I was just so like done with everything. I was so upset because of relationships with my family, like because of things I had gone through, because of like looking back at high school and being like, I'm still dealing with the trauma from stuff that happened to me in high school and middle school, and I was like, I don't believe in nothing. I don't believe in nobody. And then I just started to like go through more stuff, I guess, and it actually made me stronger in, you know, my faith in God, who like I feel like has gotten me through everything. I'm not religious. Like, I did grow up in like a Christian household, but like I'm not religious because I feel like religion is a constraint, whereas spirituality and like God is about a relationship. And so I feel like I'm very spiritual. And as I started like relying on him more, I felt like I started to grow more. And I started to like realize that like he wants me here for a reason, because there's so much stuff I've been through, like from surviving a car accident to like, you know, being beaten, being abused, like being through all these things, sleeping in my car, like not knowing where my next meal was gonna come from. And I was like, dang, like I'm still alive. Like that's a big thing, because I could not be alive right now. You know, I had a lot of situations where like I shouldn't have made it out of, where other people I know didn't make it out of. And I did. And so I was like, wow, like I'm here for a purpose that's bigger than me. I feel like a purpose that like I don't even know what it is yet. Like I know what I want to do. I know I want to do music. I know I want to write books. I know I want to like help people. I want to be involved in my communities, and I want to make a change in like the racial issues in our country, like the division in our country, like the problems with the world, like world hunger, like world peace, like all that stuff. And I'm like, I want to work on that stuff, but I don't know what the path is there yet. But I know for a fact that like me being spiritual, me like keeping a certain faith has kept me on whatever path it is. It's like I don't know where it's leading, but I know I'm on a path. You know, I'm not trekking through the woods or nothing. You know, I'm on the yellow brick road going somewhere. So that's like how I feel about, I guess, my spirituality, where it's all going.
What type of changes, if any, have you noticed in yourself since you have come to deepen your spiritual journey?
I feel like I used to be really hot-headed, really like quick to anger, quick to defending myself, because I feel like I was always on defense as a child, as a young adult, as an adult. Like I was always on the defense. I was always on, you know, the protecting myself from people, because I was constantly being hurt by people. I was constantly being abused, you know, constantly being betrayed, you know, and I was like, I'm on the defense. And so then I just grew, and I started to understand that like as a person I was better than that, and as a person like there's certain things I just needed to release and I needed to let go of in order to not be that person anymore. I mean, my first year at UVA, I got in a fight, and I mean, I hurt that girl. And
was that the situation going on when we all first met, going to the thing with Dumb Man?
Yeah, and I got charges pressed on me and everything, and I was pissed, and I blamed it all on her, because I was like, she's the one that wanted to fight me, she's the one that pressed charges. And I just looked internally, and I was like, why did I feed into that? Why did I feed into that negative energy? Why did I feed into that stuff in high school? Why did I feed into that stuff in middle school? When I'm like, this is someone who's not on my level, somebody who's not doing what I'm doing, somebody who doesn't have anything to lose. And I have so much to lose, and I have so much going for me, and I'm sacrificing it for who? Somebody I don't even know, and somebody who could never be on my level. And it's like I started to realize my worth. I started to realize that I'm a queen, and I'm not this peasant. I'm not this piece of shit that people used to make me feel like I was, that I used to feel like I was. I used to tell myself I wasn't shit. And I started to realize I'm really a queen. I'm God's child, and I'm really somebody who's worth protecting myself, protecting my future. And just realizing my worth is what really got me out of like that mindset. And like now stuff happens, and I'm like, you know, I let everything go. I always think to myself, I'm still alive, I still have food on my table. You know, people might do me dirty, people might do something to me, and you know, I don't need revenge on nobody. Like, they're gonna get their karma. Karma's a thing, you know, and I feel like karma's a very spiritual thing. I do think that God like gives people what they deserve.
Yes.
Good and bad?
Yeah, good and bad. I like really feel that way. I feel like God is our teacher, you know, and there are certain things that like he wants to teach us, and like how do you teach a kid if you never punish them? And so I feel like there are some things he punishes people for, and so I feel like if I go and I try to wreak that havoc on their life, God is just gonna let us figure it out. Oh, you can handle it? Go ahead, handle it then. See how it turns out for you. But if I just give it to God and walk away from the situation and continue to be the person I know I can be, then he's gonna handle that, and I don't even need to look back. I don't even need to worry. I don't need to feel no type of vengeance. I don't need to feel embarrassed. I don't need to feel that way, which I used to feel embarrassed if somebody got one up on me, or if somebody, like, I used to be like, oh, I can't let them get one up on me. And it's like, who am I embarrassed for? who am I feeling this way for? Because I don't fuck what anybody thinks about me. You know, so now I'm just like, I'm bigger, I'm better. Like, I have nieces that need to look up to me. I have communities that I feel like look up to me, that I want to look up to me. You know, I'm a role model to some people. I coach a soccer team. I coach the step team. I have people in middle school and high school who look at me and think, like, I want to be like her. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to be anything less than a queen? Because I view all of them as queens. You know, I have to represent that to them.
Yeah. And, like, something that stuck out to me is when you said you realized, you know, you looked at the situation that affected you a lot, and you also, from that situation, started looking back on old situations that you blamed on other people or circumstances maybe, and you took the blame for that. You took accountability for that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that helped you heal and helped you in the future realize, like, hey man, these people ain't got nothing to lose and I got everything to lose. Or maybe these people don't know how to approach me and they're trying to approach me. You know what I mean? But either way, they're either taking you down to their level or giving themselves an excuse for why they didn't succeed and taking away your success at the same time. You know what I mean?
That's straight facts. And I feel like, you know, I can look back and take accountability for what I did, but I'm at a point where I can also realize when I was done wrong, and I'll be like, dang, I was done wrong, but I can't do anything to change that, and that person needs to work on what they did. Move on.
Did that realization come through you retrospecting and taking accountability for old situations?
Yeah, literally, like me looking back and being like, dang, I could have done better there, I could have done better there. And then I'm like, I know where it all started. Like, I know that, like, from a young age, I was done wrong so many times, I started doing wrong. Yeah. And then I was like, I need to recognize what happened to me and let it go, and then take accountability for how I acted after that, and then move on. Like, I can't keep looking at the past. I'm going to end up in jail. I'm going to end up dead. I'm going to end up whatever else. Like, I'm blessed I didn't end up in jail over that situation. I had a good lawyer, man. Yeah. Like, you know, y'all want his card? I got you. But I'm just saying, like, I'm blessed for certain situations. Like, I really am. And then it's like, I realized I was a different person because that same girl I got in a fight with, that same girl who pressed charges on me, ran into her at a gas station, and she's snapping, oh, you pressed charges on me? Lying, doing this whole thing. Yeah. And I'm just looking at her like, I would never make that mistake twice. And I walk away. I don't want nothing to do with you. And I'm like, I'm in a whole different place. Like, because 2 years ago, I would have just fucked her up in front of all those people and let the actions speak for the words.
Yeah. I realize a lot of times in situations when people are confronting you, they're actually reflecting their feelings onto you to see how people perceive it, to see how people will react to it.
I can agree.
You know what I mean?
Like, they're upset about, I've realized that too, like, people could be upset about the way they handled the situation or the way, you know, it turned out for them. And so they want everybody to think it's your fault because then maybe they can believe it's your fault so that they don't have to take accountability for what they did in that situation. But at the end of the day, that's not how life works, and they're still gonna. I tried to do that. I used to be that person trying to do that, so I know it doesn't work.
Yeah, intentions. You gotta always be mindful of people's intentions. You know what I'm saying? If shit don't feel right, just always be mindful of that feeling. You know what I'm saying? The intentions.
Yes.
You'll always look back and realize, oh, I wasn't right. You'll always have it in the back of your mind, knowing that you weren't right, but then it doesn't comfort you at all, even if other people think you were, because you know you weren't. And so if you've convinced other people that you were, you think you just did everybody else dirty too. Like, damn, I made y'all think I was in the right. And now y'all gonna start doing what I did, thinking you're gonna be in the right. Because we're influenced by our peers too. We don't just influence those younger than us. We influence our peers, the people who are equal in age, older than us. Like, we influence those people. So when they think we did something right because we think we did it right, they go and do that. Then we're influencing all the people around us. They influence their friends. Like, your toxicity will spread. So you have to get rid of it, clear it out, drink some cucumber water, you know. Do what you gotta do, but you gotta get rid of that.
Honey. Yeah, you see we got all kinds of remedies.
Find you some fruit.
Right, but you gotta get rid of that.
Gym a couple times a week. You know, we got the recipe if you need it.
Start burning some incense, some candles up in here.
Come on, man.
Facts.
Get those, that dark spirit out of here.
Yeah, we vibrating on higher frequencies over here, you know what I'm saying? So we already understand that when we dealing with them kind of situations, that's a lower vibration, you know what I'm saying? You in a lower state of mind. Mm-hmm. So that's why you always feel like sometimes you feel like that anger comes up when you get to that space, you know what I'm saying? That's always almost like the first thing that comes up when you getting ready to react to a situation. We don't know how to utilize our dark energy, so our first thing is to like fight or rebel or to like hit that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Send a crazy message or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But once we figure out how to formulate that shit and flip that dark energy and be like, you know what, fuck that, I ain't about to put that shit into that, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to turn up on these beats over here, I'm about to write this song, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go clean the house, I'm about to go cook some food, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go do some shit I just haven't tried, you know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong, there are instances where you gonna need to slap the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't saying
where you gonna have to. I wasn't saying don't slap a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
But I feel like there's
But if
there's certain things.
If you in a place to where you gotta send a text message or an email or like make a post, that's not the time when you slapping somebody because you're not physically there. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. There's times like
if you're in a physical appearance though, and a motherfucker do some disrespectful
I just feel like it's very rarely the answer, and so yeah, there's gonna be times where you need to handle your business, but then there's gonna be. I feel like it's very rarely, and I feel like people, especially my old me, not even even that long ago, was quick to be like, oh, we got a disagreement, let's fight. Mm. And it couldn't even be like
but after that you don't really have too many more disagreements. You know what I'm saying? The problem is usually solved.
Well,
no, that's the thing. Me and her had that fight. Problem has kept going on, and I don't even know that person.
That
means somebody didn't get their ass whooped.
She did though.
You didn't.
I promise you.
This is great perspective. This is great perspective.
When you get that ass beat the fuck down.
No, this is the thing though. I can tell you, I learned from that situation that getting your ass beat does not mean you learned your lesson. Because I promise you, she had marks all over her face. Look, she went to the police and everything, and nope, she ain't learned shit.
Listen, there's a surface to this where someone will physically try to say something to do something, but there's an undertone where if somebody gets the best of you, you always think they're looking at you like, yeah, I got the best of you. And
so
you're
they
always
come back.
feeling like they got the best of me. So there's a couple of choices to that. They're either going to confront that, they're going to bow their head, or they're going to catch you on a sneak tip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it's not just I beat your ass and it's over.
But once again, that's only if you looking at the situation, not a fucking ass whooping. If you beat the shit out of somebody and you stomp their face in, they're not coming back for more. They're gonna look at that and they're gonna take that.
Which I tell you, like not everybody is that way. And in fact, I'll tell you personally.
The ones that's coming to retaliate is the ones that's coming with a weapon, and it's not gonna be their choice.
No. Let somebody beat my ass.
It's not gonna be talking.
Which, mind you, nobody has ever done.
Yeah.
But let somebody beat my ass, right? The next time I see them, it's on site again. I'm just gonna tell you that because I'm not walking away with an L. That's just who I am.
Some people can't walk around feeling like I have to bow to somebody. Some people can't live like that. You know what I mean?
I know I can't.
You can't live like that.
What I'm saying.
Somebody beat you up.
There we go. That's the greatest. If somebody kicked your face in, are you coming back?
What the fuck I'm saying? What the fuck I'm saying is I've been to prison. I seen people get their shit smashed the fuck in and knifed the fuck up. Yeah. Them niggas is not coming back.
In prison, maybe not.
It doesn't matter if it happens. That means that shit's not going on hard enough out here on the street. I seen that shit happen on the street too. And them motherfuckers chilled the fuck out after that shit.
Well, I ain't
them niggas chill because them niggas knew what the fuck it was. Now, if a nigga semi got his ass whooped or a girl semi got his ass whooped or her ass whooped, then she coming back for more. Because, bitch, you ain't really do nothing to scare me. You ain't show me.
The emotion behind your perspective makes me think that you're coming from your mind and not an open space.
Nah.
Because, listen, if somebody did that to you, are you saying it's over? You're not coming back?
What I'm saying is...
Yes or no,
are you coming back?
Yes or no, you coming back?
We know you coming back. So that's why this is hard.
Let me answer. It's not hard. I gave you an answer earlier. If somebody's gonna either eat that or they're coming back with a weapon, it's not coming back to words.
So you're going back with a weapon?
Yes. If somebody fucking put my ass down and I'm in the hospital or somebody fucking stabbed me, I'm coming back with a weapon.
Well, that's
I'm coming back. I'm coming back with. If somebody fucking stabbed me, I'm not gonna just go back and try to fight them. Or somebody shot at me.
If they stabbed me or shot at me, I'm coming back.
And if somebody stomped my face in ground, foot, stomp my shit, the fucking broke this shit all the fuck up, I'm coming back with a weapon.
Yeah.
Nah, I might need to take a boxing class or something first, but I'm coming back with my bare hands, and I'm gonna get the best of them.
Yeah, okay, so I think I'm not sure if I misunderstood.
But if somebody just beat me up in a fight and he just knocked me out or something, you know what I'm saying, and then he left and went on about his business, I might have had a scrape or a black eye. Yes, nigga, I'm coming to see you hands up. That's completely different. You just happened to get off that time. I might have slipped or something, or something might have fucking happened. But I'm coming back with hands, you know what I'm saying? That's completely different, but I done seen motherfuckers.
I might come back if somebody
thrashed.
If somebody thrashed me, you know, I might be thrashed, whatever, you know, I might. But you know, I'm gonna still come back. I might come back under different circumstances. You know, I might have taken a boxing lesson, I might have trained or something. But I'm coming back. I'm coming back bare hands because you're not walking away and gonna look at me every day on the street. Because let me tell you something, especially with females. I'm female. If a bitch beats you up like that, every time she walk by you on the street, she's bitching you. She's gonna bitch you. She's gonna look at you and be like, because I bitch bitches like that.
See, but
I be like, don't say shit to me.
I done did that to niggas and I ain't no bully. So for me, I don't have to walk past niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't my steez, you know what I'm saying? I never been the type to feel like I gotta bully somebody or look like I'm better or over top of somebody. So,
but even if you don't, it don't matter. They still gonna see that.
Yeah, I done smashed niggas and they kept it walking. Niggas, eventually a year or two later, niggas, what's up? What's up?
A females don't work like that. After we fight, we not friends. We not saying what up. It's not gonna be none of that.
I'm not 6-10 years from personally, but I've seen females do the same thing.
It could be a 6, 10, 12 years from now, and I see her. I still like her. I'm like, oh, I have kids. I'm like, I don't like her. Don't talk to her. I promise you. I still, because I'd be like, I'll never forget. Yeah. Especially the bitch press charges on me. I never forget. I'll be like, that's a snitch, kids. I have my little 4-year-old. That's a snitch. Now let me tell you what she did. And I'll be telling my little 4-year-old the story. Tell your friends. And then tell them, because that's her kid, tell them what her mom did.
It is necessary to release dark energy.
It is.
Sometimes. It's definitely necessary.
Well, the same way it is to release light. You got to release both. You know what I'm saying? It's just when you're younger, you got sports and shit for the other formula for it.
There's so much to let go. Like, there's things.
It
like,
is.
It's so much to let go. Like, I definitely... Like, especially that situation, like, I never had beef with her in the first place. You know? It was just fight. It's over something stupid. And it's like, there's no animosity. So, from my perspective, so when she comes up to me snapping on me, I don't feel angry. I don't feel like I need to tell my kids about it. I don't feel all that. I don't feel that way. It's nothing like that. But then there's situations where it was about something, where the beef was about something deeper, about something that, like, maybe it was family involved, maybe it was, something, you know, assault involved, you know, maybe it's over principles, and maybe it's every time you see that person, you gotta fight that person. You feel me? Like, there's some situations.
That's how it used to be when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with no cameras. I used to fight constantly. I got held back in 5th grade for fighting 24/7. You know what I'm saying? When I moved down here, I was repeating 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fight. That's what the fuck I used to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, when I was younger, that was my dark energy release. You know? Yeah. But as I got older, it was like, and then learning the system, you can't maneuver the same way. You know what I'm saying? There's different consequences for shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the system forces you to grow. Not gonna lie.
Nah,
like
it don't force you to grow. It forces you to conform because you know what the fuck is gonna happen if you don't conform. So, it's like.
But you know, that's just here. You know, like I went to New York with my friend, and when we went there, she was telling me, like, and I looked it up. People in New York do not get in trouble for fighting. You know, if it's a consensual fight, like they're like, you're not in trouble for fighting. Like, y'all both laid
That shit is not. Yeah, I'm about to say in New York, it's not as big of a deal.
But then when you come here, it's like, you know, you fight somebody, y'all both getting charged. Even if neither of y'all press charges, if a cop roll up on the fight, y'all both getting charged.
The school press charges too. If you ain't pressing charges, it's the same way.
I feel like that's part of the thing that forced me to grow up. Is I was like, my future or this lifestyle.
Nah, it forced you another way to shift that dark energy. That's what it did.
And I feel like I shifted that dark energy right into my music. I'm not
fuck
even
that,
gonna lie.
because you still was just saying earlier about how you know what's up with the system and how you don't agree with everything that got going on. So at the same time, you see what I'm saying? How it's a twist to fucking everything. Like,
it is.
The process of this shit.
It definitely is.
On that note, we getting ready to wrap this motherfucking thing up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let K.I.A.S let y'all know where y'all can find her at, what she got going on.
Yeah, so y'all can just follow my Instagram, which is thereal K.I.A.S, and I post all my music on there. I'm also on SoundCloud. I'm already on iTunes. I'm gonna be posting some more shit, you know, here in the weeks to come. So I'm working on a project, and it's gonna be coming out for you guys. So just type in my name. I promise you, there's no other K.I.A.S out here.
Yeah. Y'all already know what time it is. My man Cheno gonna be in the building constantly. My motherfucking co-host, you know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all check out the TrakWolf GodCast, you know what I'm saying? IG. Fuck with it, man, you know what I'm saying? The bully, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta go fucking support, you know what I'm saying? That's what we doing out here. We supporting each other. We showing mad love, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a constant process. You know what I'm saying? This TrakBeatz, we signing out.
Peace.
Peace. It's like,
Ooh,
I fuck with this beat. They say watch your back. I watch my left and watch my right. Niggas busy watching me. You better watch your fucking wife, ayy. But I ain't really trying to start some shit. Although the K.I.A. stand for keep it real and stay legit. These people ritz, just watch them crumble under pressure. They cheesy with the bullshit, call they fucking words some cheddar. Watch your rhetoric is what my mother scream. May not agree, but she's still MVP of K.I.A.'s team. I free it seems till I realize who I'm here to please. I drown in waters full of all that white supremacy. Bleed like a wounded chest cavity. Don't go into the light the only way to see. Niggas want a girl to play her role and take a knee. That ain't me, fix your insecurities. If you was half a fucking man, you put your ones behind your knees. Ayy. Don't let me rain on your parade though. I want a man to sleep in king bed. Y'all in cradles. Stimulate my senses like noodles up in the Prego. Lead my mind to the conclusion, not just cause you fucking say so. Everything is everything, yeah. Everything is everything. Everything is everything, yeah, yeah. Everything, yeah. Am I tripping or am I spitting facts? I lay this bar and leave them hanging like what's after that? They mind blurry like it's in the places sunken. See right through they soul and gaping holders while they dunking. Running from the truth to the prisons of society. Better open up your eyes. I hit them with that impropriety. I want more for my people. Should be giving me anxiety. Give my fortune to a black man just for him to fucking lie to me. Ayy. Forgot the morals from your mother. Like the war is with the man, but we just battling each other. Watch us smother in our own delinquency of mind. Now you wanna fight the system, well it's about fucking time. Don't be blind. Everything is everything is everything. Everything is everything, yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything. A different flow, I'm starting to fuck up all their intellect. Now I've been thinking how the hell we get the old school back. Cause this shit been whack since Lauren fell off and Remy took to the knife. Now she really ain't even looking black. Check it, the animosity is possibly the worst I ever seen since Pac and Biggie hit the scene. I'm bursting out at the seams, no fucking apologies. Light skin versus dark skin, that ain't even a thing. I ain't tripping, I'm just spitting facts. Keep it a stack, no GPS, but I'm getting back. Give me the map protest, cause I'm just getting some shit off my chest. No rest, how can I sleep with bullets in my chest? But let me wrap it up, I know you gas as fuck. At times the weed's the only thing that gets your spirits up. Too busy putting ourselves down to see the truth. I'm hoping we can recognize before it hits the youth. Every